we came up with an idea to take the students on a 2-day adventure into the Cairngorms National Park and the surrounding area. As part of that, they did various activities, visiting GP practices, some work-life balance activities.
I think it's been a really great thing that we've had this donation, be able to introduce, particularly out there where it's very difficult to take first years generally out into the sticks to experience that, so I think it's been really useful. One thing that we're very aware of, especially at this stage, is the students don't know that there are these hospital wards out there and that the opportunity to manage patients in a ward setting, so we wanted to introduce that to them.
Community hospitals, I wasn't aware that a lot of these are kind of run by GPs or kind of staffed by GPs.
Definitely much more to it than meets the eye, and there's so many opportunities and things to get involved with.
Because a lot of people will have started really making up their minds midway through medical school, so I feel this amount of communication as to what it's like being a rural GP so early on, it does help you set your priorities in that decision-making process.
It was so nice getting to see the GPs have a real personal connection with their patients, and they all just seem to really love their job and love the community as well.
I think the students really loved it. I think the feedback that we had informally as the trip went on was really, really positive.
But it was really interesting to see that they had a community hospital, they had the OT, they had the physio. It was really amazing to see how much they could actually do in such a small village.
I was surprised by how big it was actually, even though it's rural. In a way I thought it was going to be tiny little practices, but it actually had so many facilities.
It's great to see all these canoeing and mountain biking activities, and there's lots of things that you could get involved in that you wouldn't be able to do if you lived in a city as easily.
Positives for me of actually becoming a rural GP is having these things on your doorstep. It's one of the reasons I moved up to Aberdeen anyway. Having that access to kind of the outdoors, being able to take your mind off things, because it is a stressful job.
At the moment there is a crisis in general practice, and we're really struggling to recruit and retain people into general practice. So we know that there's a few key things that are important, such as early exposure to specialty and trying to enthuse the students about specialty.
Our hope really is by introducing this so early on, especially in the rural setting, that the students consider it, going forwards.
At Huntly we learn the variety of work that rural GPs do compared to GPs that are working in a more urban environment.
Pretty eye-opening just how much can actually be done in a rural setting when you have a purpose-built GP hospital.
Yeah, I think it's important, and probably to promote it at an earlier stage of medical training. I think a lot of the time people have some preconceptions, which I've just noticed speaking with the students.
Hopefully very important if we can plant the seed in their mind in these early days about what rural practice is all about. As we said earlier, immediate care is a small part of the work of a general practitioner, but a necessary part if they're living in a remote and rural community.
Really trying to encourage the guys and girls to look for the job satisfaction and work-life balance, which in my era we didn't balance too much, but the youngsters now are more appropriately tuned into that, so I just had a wee chat about that with them.
With events like today, where they have a chance to interact with peers and chat about their experience from different angles, from either hospital doctors or from general practitioners that we've got mixed up today, then hopefully they can start to make up their minds where they want to work in later life.
The feedback from the speed dating was extremely good. I think the students really valued the opportunity for this, the one-to-one almost with the GPs, and an opportunity to hear firsthand what they do and ask questions. And obviously we did some practical stuff in that session as well, which they really enjoyed.
I think as the trip went on, people who had started maybe a bit more on the fence about it or not that sure certainly had warmed up to the idea of general practice and possibly in a remote location.
You know, I thought it was going to be quite repetitive and probably a bit like an autonomous role, but there's definitely more diversity to it, being a rural GP than what I originally thought.
It tells you what the life would be like, and we don't get that from university, we can't get that from classroom.
I mean, we know that students want a rewarding and challenging career, and I mean, this project was a really brilliant way to show them that rural general practice can be exactly that.